Yeah, this is Bracey. I'm a comedian, podcaster, resident of Beaver. I got the chance to go see the Avengers Infinity War at a pre-screening, and it was awesome. This is by far the best comic book movie I've ever seen in my life. I mean, from the very beginning, it's just action-packed. Like, Thanos drops in, and like, you're like, oh, I wonder, how this guy's gonna, be. And he's like, from the gate, he's like, I'm not playing with you. Like, it's the first scene is just like, like he lets you know he's not to be messed with. Like, nobody's gonna come in and like save the day. He gets that out of the way pretty quickly. It's hard to talk about it without spoilers. The whole thing is a spoiler. You're looking at 10 years of movie franchise that is coming down to like this one movie. I mean, it's a two-parter, which everybody knows. But I mean, all of those lines are starting to kind of get together. Like, you're seeing some new characters together. Like, you see Thor and like the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a nice little, back and forth between those, a little dynamic. You're seeing like Iron Man and Doctor Strange. There's a little dynamic going on there or whatever. And the whole movie is like a crossover series, right? Like, I mean, like, there's a little, story over here, there's a story over here, there's a story over here, and like they're all just like kind of jumping around, and then at some point they come together, at the end. And if you're a big comic book fan, you understand like there's crossover events, and it watches just like a crossover event reads. So comic book movies have been terrible for the majority of their existence. It's not until Marvel came in to existence, and that first Iron Man movie came out, and like people were like, "Wow, they did it right!" The first time. And since then, they've been building it, and like they had Batman, and Batman was a great movie. I mean, it's still Dark Knight is still in my top 3 movies of all time. But it doesn't. It doesn't give that same superhero feel, like that big like blockbuster, like buildings crashing and like worlds. I mean, there's literally a moon gets thrown at somebody. Like, I mean, it's insane. Like, you just don't get that with Batman. Batman's not fighting people that can throw moons, So like, I mean, to see this and like, the technology has finally caught up to the storytelling, and like, you don't have to watch like a cartoon or read a comic book. You can actually see live action films, and it captures all of that fanboy that you get when you're reading the comic book. You just see it several times. I'm gonna go see it again several times. I mean, there's just so much involved. Like, this is all of those all your favorites are gonna be in there. Some new ones are gonna pop up, and it's everything that you want. I mean, you have space aliens flying around with like gods of thunder. Don't be one of those we're plot holes type people. Like, enjoy the movie. Like, get your popcorn. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, or 2 hours and 40 minutes, right? So don't drink a bunch of liquids. Make sure you empty all your bowels beforehand, because it goes from beginning to end. So there is no point where you can kind of like sneak out to the bathroom and come back. You'll be sorely disappointed and lost. So make sure that, again, you keep it very simple, and maybe a little bit of popcorn, maybe a small bit of water, because you're in for a marathon with this one.